There is no doubt that we do not solve the climate crisis. We do not avoid catastrophic warming that fundamentally shapes the environment and our natural world and is an existential threat to humanity without government action, period. We need governments to act. However, in that, corporations are the most influential players in our political system. So they have both responsibility and a role to play in ensuring that the government does act. But I want to say that simply working to reduce our own emissions is not nearly enough. We could turn off Ben & Jerry's tomorrow and our planet is still headed over the cliff. And so I think while companies must work within their operations to reduce the impacts that their businesses have on the climate, it is equally, if not more important, that companies use their political influence, their platform, their connection with suppliers and customers to be advocates for systems change. One is we have to stop funding fossil fuels, right? We have to stop giving subsidies and preferences to the fossil fuel industry. I believe something like 80% of global subsidies in energy go to the fossil fuel industry. We have to stop that. We have to stop investing in new fossil fuel projects, new pipelines, new refineries. The investments made in those lock us into another generation of fossil fuel. We need subsidies and we need targets, which were part of the Build Back Better plan, that would decarbonize our electricity sector. So that's investing in renewables and investing in storage technology. Yeah, companies can't do this on their own. It's simply, anyone who believes that we're going to avoid the worst impacts of climate change simply through voluntary actions of either individuals or corporations, frankly, is fooling themselves. We don't have the strategic levers to be able to take our emissions to zero. We rely upon energy infrastructure, logistics networks that are fossil fuel dependent. And so it is only through the policies and incentives at the economy level that we will be able to make this transition in a way that works for everyone, that is fair for everyone, and that meets the scientific need to keep temperature rise below 1.5 degrees. So there's absolutely no question that sort of individual voluntary action is completely and wholly insufficient. one has to be working to reduce their emissions. But I think what that speaks to is finding innovative ways to use our platform to engage people in advancing policies that address climate change and helping build a movement of people that put political pressure on our leaders to act. And so companies need to get off the sidelines and into the offices of senators and members of the House of Representatives and governor's office and demand action on climate change. Corporations cannot solve this problem by fixing it themselves. Corporations must use the power of their platform, their influence, their campaign contributions, their industry associations to move governments. And that's the path to getting this done.